Let's recall how we got how we got started talking about the central problems of philosophy. We were looking for a definition of philosophy. We considered the etymological definition that philosophy is the love or pursuit of wisdom or knowledge. But we realized that that definition, the defining term, the definiens, lets too many things in, that the definition is too broad, that there are things that are not philosophy that qualify as philosophy under that definition. So there are counterexamples like mathematics, we even said sports, biology, political science, sociology, nursing, other things that qualify as love of knowledge. We said the way we need to narrow down what philosophy is by the kinds of problems that it talks about. And that's how we got to the point that we said that philosophy deals with certain problems in three general areas, right? Reality, knowledge, and value. And then that there are actually branches of philosophy that study questions in these areas, and we talked about some of those questions. And just to recall, we talked about metaphysics, ontology, mind-body problem, freedom, determinism. There was also cosmology, even though it's on a slide. Knowledge, spent some time talking about epistemology, which is a theory of knowledge. And in particular, we focused a little bit on a problem in the theory of knowledge, the problem of knowledge and skepticism. And we mentioned that logic fits in there, but we'll come back to logic a little bit later when we really are going to use it as a tool for philosophy. And then we examined philosophical questions that fall within the general topic of value, and we saw there were really three branches of philosophy to deal with them. One, ethics, dealing with good, evil, right, wrong, some other questions. Political philosophy, I put justice there because sometimes we talk about what is the just state, what is justice in the sphere of political philosophy. And finally, one we didn't talk about with aesthetics. Aesthetics deals with questions of beauty, specific questions, not questions is this is this person beautiful? Are they not beautiful? Is this building beautiful? Is this piece of art beautiful? But the question is, what makes something beautiful? Are there absolute standards, or is kind of beauty in the eye of the beholder? So again, it's a question of value here. This question is a value of whether you're evaluating things, what makes something beautiful or not beautiful, questions of aesthetics. Now one other area in philosophy, and actually it opens up a whole series of branches of philosophy that I just want to mention in passing, is there are some areas in philosophy that cut across reality, knowledge, value. One of these is a discipline in philosophy known as philosophy of religion. And let me explain what some of the problems are in philosophy of religion and how they cut across reality, knowledge, and value. One question about in philosophy of religion is, is there a God, and if so, what characteristics does the God have? Does this being God have? And those are questions in metaphysics about reality. That is there this special kind of being, and what is the nature of this special being? We talk about an all-knowing, omniscient, all-powerful, omnipotent, perfectly good, benevolent being. What do these characteristics mean? Those are really questions that we address in metaphysics. But they are questions of philosophy of religion. Then philosophy of religion asks some other questions related to knowledge, related to epistemology. That is, how could you know that God does or does not exist? Those are epistemological questions related to religion, related to philosophy of religion. And finally, there are people who take the position that what makes something right or wrong, or for there to be an absolute standard of right or wrong, which they believe there must be a supreme being. it's a theory in ethics. So here we see that there are questions, very basic questions about religion that are philosophical questions, and within this discipline in philosophy of religion, we study questions that fall in kind of all three topical areas of philosophy. And the other thing I should tell you is, just to kind of round out your knowledge of philosophy, there's a whole set of, or a wide range of disciplines within philosophy called kind of the philosophies of, for instance, philosophy of science, not doing science, but dealing with questions about the practice of science. Philosophy of language, philosophy of mind, philosophy of mathematics, actually philosophy of law. So there are a whole range of subjects that are studied, but when you look at the details, my contention is that any of these studies will fall into, the particular problems that are studied within any of these philosophy of disciplines fall into one of the three areas. The issue is that these particular disciplines ask questions that cut across multiple areas.